Welcome to Elevated, a place where the mystical meets the everyday. I am Dawn, a stay-at-home mom to a wild and spirited boy, and a guide in the realms of Reiki, Akashic Records, natural healing, and soulful living. Here, we'll talk energy, intuition, spirituality, but also the realness of motherhood, wellness, and creating balance in the chaos of it all. So grab your tea, take a deep breath, and join me as we explore healing, alignment, and the beauty of both the magical and the messy. Welcome to Elevated. Welcome to Elevated, beautiful souls. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I'm having a wonderful Sunday. It is amazing. Yes, I am pre-recording my podcast. I'm going to probably pre-record a few of my podcasts right now. I have a couple of really busy weeks coming up. So I thought, you know what? I got some time today. I might as well do some pre-recording and then it's done and I don't have to stress about it because I do want to get my podcast out to you. I want to be around for you. Today is July 19th. Now, if you don't know much about today, apparently if your sun sign is Cancer, today is supposed to be some magical, amazing, life-changing day. I don't know. I'm a sun sign Cancer, so I'm just going with it. We're seeing what happens. This is like where our life changes for extreme better, maybe. I don't know. I'm just throwing my hands up in the air and seeing. I don't think we had to do anything. I think it was just kind of coming to the Cancers. Today is to the first day where the 4 outer planets are aligning in the astrology to make a basket. Is it like Berlow's basket or something like that? Anyways, he's done some major predictions throughout his lifetime. And one of the predictions that he did do was COVID. And he's predicting that when these planets align the way that they're aligning to make this basket, we're going to see an extreme change in the collective and the way that the world runs. Now, one source that I kind of looked at on social media, they were saying how this could take up to about 2030. So it could take up to the next 4 years. It's not like it's going to happen from July 19th to the 21st and boom, all of this amazing things just change. I think that'd be almost too hard for humanity if it did do that. We'll see. Someone said 4 years. I mean, if you look at what happened with COVID, so much changed. Like, yeah, I get the pandemic happened in 2020, but we were still experiencing a lot of the fallout in 2021, 2022. That's kind of when we started getting back to really quote normal life, if you will. I just want to recap on some of the things that we've been doing. So I had my birthday. It would be 3 days ago now, but when you're listening to this, it was a few weeks ago. Do not ask me why. Why? As a mom of a preschooler, I had this dream, and I'm going to call it a dream. I don't think it was anything else, where I thought that I could have a day where I got to do things for me all day. And like I explained to my son, I said, it's mom's birthday. We're going to do things for mom today. So first thing we did was we went to the brand new park in the city. It was good. He was uncomfortable there. It was really busy. It's a nice park. It's a great park and I want to go back, but it was super, super busy because it hadn't even been open for a week yet. So everyone's checking it out. He was a little bit uncomfortable, but we played there for probably 45 minutes. They have a really nice bike park. That's why I wanted to check it out too. He's really into bike parks. Now, my husband, who's working out of town, he drove in an hour to come and have lunch with us, which was great, but it wasn't where I really wanted to go have lunch. I kind of said it was, and I got free nachos for my birthday there, and I do like nachos. It's not really where I wanted to go for lunch. It's where my son wanted to go for lunch. It's where he wanted to take me to go for lunch. So fine, we did that. And then afterwards, I really just wanted to go to Indigo. And if you are in the States, it's basically like your Barnes and Nobles. And I just wanted a day where I could wander around the bookstore, look at all of the genres that I'm interested in, take the time, really read every spine of the book and the cover and the back and really see what popped out to me and maybe get 1 or 2 new books that would interest me. I took a almost 4.5-year-old with me who was tired, who was full. He drank a full glass of chocolate milk and wouldn't go to the bathroom. So I think he had to go to the bathroom quite bad. And we went to the kids section, which is great. And I took the time to find his books because he's into chapter books right now, but they're not in alphabetical order of the author, and they're not even sometimes in like title order. Like they're just kind of randomly placed in there, and I don't understand how they organized it. So anyways, long story short, It took me probably half an hour to find his books. And then after that, he was done. He didn't want to go like search mom's books. You know, if I wanted to go to self-help or well-being or the new age section or the fiction section, like I didn't get to do that. And I was kind of really disappointed because that was the one thing that I wanted to do on my birthday, was to go to Chapters and have this amazing day where I could like wander and search the books. And you know, if it took me 2 hours, it took me 2 hours. I even got a gift card for my son and my husband. I didn't get to spend it because I'm not going to buy my son's books with my gift card. No, that's for me. That's my gifts. So I came out of there feeling deflated, if you will. And it really made me wonder. And the whole day was crazy because then my husband was late coming home for supper, which he's like never late. And by late, I mean like he was an hour and a half. Like I had already made supper, which I was like, oh, it's my birthday. I didn't want to make supper, but I have to make supper. So I made supper. My son and I started eating supper and we had a great supper. We had steak and we had mushrooms and we had asparagus. It was just very delicious. It was a meal that I really wanted, which was great, but I didn't want to cook it. It's my birthday. So that happened. And then I was to have a class that night with my Akashic Records teacher from Akasha Awakened. And I was so excited. It was about our rising sign. I was like, yes, I want to do this. And he, at lunchtime, told me that he had to go wire something for a guy at the lake. I think it was for his boat lift so he could get his boat up and down so he could go fishing. And he really wanted to go fishing. And I was like, okay. But I'm like, A, it's my birthday. B, I have something planned tonight. Now I don't get to do that. I got to put my son to bed. And not that I'm not grateful for putting my son to bed. Like, please don't hear what I'm not saying. Like, I'm grateful I get to do that. But at the same time, I was like, it's my birthday. And I just want to do something for me. So that happens. Then he got another call that he had to go help a guy get some water for his well because he didn't have his well for his worker guys. And I get it. Like he's working and he puts a roof over our head and food on our table. So if he's got to work, he's got to work. And I love him for that. And I'm very grateful that I get to stay home with our son and raise our son. But at the same time, I was like, it's my birthday. And as I was going to bed that night, I was texting my friend and kind of telling her what was going on for my birthday. I was like, I didn't have the birthday that I thought and I dreamed of having. Like in my mind, I had made this day so big and it was going to be so grand and it was going to be so perfect for what I wanted. And I was, again, let down and disappointed. And I sat back and I was like, it's not about the events of the day. It's actually about the fact that I didn't do something for me. And it's the fact that I said that one day was my day to do things for me, because I have found that as a mom, the one thing that I'm doing is I'm not taking days for me anymore. I'm not taking time for me. It's very rare that I'm like, no, I'm going to go do this no matter what. I'm going to go do this. And I feel guilty when I do that. And like mom guilt is real. Like I know when my son was like little and I would go into the city because I had to go Christmas shopping, but he can't be with me, I would feel guilty and I would rush through everything so I could come home because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not with him. And it's like kind of the same thing where like now I was like, I felt guilty for essentially let down because I didn't get a day for myself. And then I felt guilty for and selfish for wanting time for myself to do things for me that matter to me. But then I remember in the course that I'm taking, which is Creatrix, which again is with my Akashic Records teacher, Akasha Awakened, she said in there that we need to start doing things that fill up our cups, because when we do that, as selfish as it may seem, and as hard as it may be in the beginning for everyone to get on track with that, it actually makes us live in our proper alignment, but it helps others as well. So we're really helping everyone. Like if I'm happy, my family's happy. And that's the one thing that I have to learn, is that filling my cup is going to help my family. It's going to make me a better mom. It's going to make me a happier mom. It's going to make me a mom that wants to hang out more with my family and not feel a little bit of resentment or not feel a little bit of frustration that I'm hanging out with them. And of course, I love my family. It's not that, but I am a person that I re-energize by being by myself. I like quiet. I like peace. I like doing things for me. Sometimes doing a puzzle, my husband will look at it and be like, you're just wasting time doing a puzzle. I'm like, that is me re-energizing myself so that I have the energy and the brain power and the manpower and all that I need and the calm to be able to handle being a stay-at-home mom with a preschooler. It is a hard job because it's a job that is 24/7. It never stops. See, when you go to work for a company, you're there 9 to 5. And when you leave, typically you leave at 5 o'clock and you don't have to think about that workplace again until 9 o'clock the next morning. When you're a stay-at-home mom, you're in your workplace constantly. So it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week thing. If the laundry is building up, even if you're not on duty, if you will, you still need to do the laundry because that's still affecting you mentally or whatever the case might be. You always have a child that needs you and they don't stop needing you at 5 o'clock. They need you 24/7. So you're constantly giving. And I was like, but I'm a person. And I know this from before having a son that I recharge by doing things myself. So that was my birthday. Then yesterday we went out to Monster Trucks, which was outside, and it was hot. I am not a person that likes heat. I like summer for the sun, but I do not like summer for the heat. I like spring. I like fall. I really like winter too. I would rather be cold outside and I would rather go shovel snow than literally have to go sit outside and bake in the sun. In my mind, you can dress for the weather in the winter. In the summer, you cannot strip down enough to ever get cool if you are hot. I do not like sweating. I'm just not a summer person. And ever since I was little, I really do think that I've spent more time indoors when it is hot out than ever being outside. I do not like the heat from as long as I can remember. So it's super hot out, super hot. We live in Saskatchewan. There was a bit of a breeze, but not enough of a breeze. Like, where's our 100K wind, right? Like, that's the day we were like, I want it so windy. It was okay, but we went to the Monster Trucks. It was his gift for the first year of going through preschool. He had a great time. He enjoyed it so much, and it was wonderful. There was a lot of people that we knew there, but we were sitting on the bleachers, and we, for whatever reason, didn't think about moving to the end because we were there early enough. We could have been at the end. So then I have this dad right beside me with his 3 kids. And he's beside me. I'm a person when we go out in public, I like space. So I already had to realize before we got there that it's sold out. They're going to have like 1,500 people in this venue. We didn't pick the best spot. We picked an okay spot and didn't really think it through. And then when intermission came, we got up and we walked away from our seats and we went and found some shade. And as we got away from the seats, you actually got more wind and it was nicer. It wasn't as hot because we were scorching where we were. Even my husband, he texts me, he goes, I think this is almost too hot. And he works outside in the heat and he's been acclimatized to the heat where like I haven't been because I live in air conditioning. If it's too hot, I just come back into the house and live in my air-conditioned house with my sweater on. It was a great day and I'm glad we went and I enjoyed it and we had a lot of fun. And last night, our friend needed my husband to help him with something at his house and he's away for a week. And he goes, you guys can come down and use the dock and your little guy can go fishing if you want because the fish are biting right off the dock. And we're like, oh, that's great. So we tell this to my son and he's excited. Like last night before he falls asleep, he's like, Mom, I'm going to go get my own life jacket from downstairs because he knows where it is. He's like, I know where my fishing rod is. I know where my tackle box is. Like, we're going fishing in the morning. I said, yeah. I said, we'll have breakfast and then we'll go fishing. No big deal. We'll go down and we'll go fishing. He's like, okay. And he's all excited. So we get down there. I think it was just about 9 o'clock when he's fishing. And he's having a great time fishing. And then he kind of gets bored, right? He's not catching anything. And we don't have worms. I take over the fishing rod and he's playing on this dock and he's getting in the water. And he used to be really afraid of water, really uncomfortable with water. And especially like he didn't like it in his face or anything like that. So he's got his life jacket on because I refuse when he goes to the lake for him not to have a life jacket on. That's the number one thing. I'm like, at any point in time, if that kid was to fall in the water, and he doesn't have a life jacket on, if we have to go in and get him, the water is dark. You don't see him after a foot or two down. Like, no, he's wearing a life jacket. I don't care if it's on a dock. I don't care if you're on the beach. Like, if you are in the water or by the water at the lake, you are wearing a life jacket. That is just our rule. In his pool, he does not need a life jacket. And I would rather him go in the pool with us without a life jacket. So he understands what floating is. He understands how his body really should feel in water versus how it feels when you're in a life jacket and you just think that you're going to float to the top. So there's a difference. So he's in his life jacket, he's playing in the water, he's trying to get these water beetles and he's thinking it's great. And he spent an hour out there. And I sat there, I was holding the fishing rod, hoping to goodness that there would be a fish that would come on. I was looking out and it was wavy. I forgot how much I missed the water. It just healed my soul to be out there and to watch the waves and to hear the little squirrels chirping and then to hear the seagulls and to watch the seagulls and to watch the little diving ducks that we have. It just really filled my soul. And that's one thing that I'm really trying to do a lot more of. And I'm learning that in Creatrix right now is to take the time to find one thing a day that fills my soul. And I think I found it for today because it was so nice. And our friend, he's such a great guy. Like, he's like, I'm gone all week. You guys can use the beach, use the dock because he has a private beach. I was like, yes, please. We will be down here because it's supposed to be hot all week. And yes, we have a pool, which is great. But there's just something about the water, even though, it's dirty and it's kind of full of algae sometimes. And it's living water. It's not stagnant water. It's living water. And today's episode, we're actually going to talk about that. And then another thing that I was saying too with my husband about a lot of people say that people with money are not kind and they are selfish or they're greedy or they're bad. We all have heard the sayings, and going through my Creatrix course and just listening to what I've been listening to lately and really trying to understand money wounds and really trying to figure out abundance in general. And to me, abundance isn't always money, but it's easy to associate abundance with money. So I was like, everyone says this, but I go, I don't know. We know a lot of people with money, like a lot of people that have a lot of money, and they're all some of the nicest, caring, most giving people that we know. So I was like, I don't believe that because you have money that you're a bad person or that you're greedy or that you're selfish or anything like that. And I wonder, do we sometimes say that about people because we're jealous? Be one thing. I don't know. My husband's like, well, like and I think he's going into like the politicians and, maybe some of the higher people. Like if you look at maybe what kind of was happening with like Hollywood and Epstein and things like that, maybe that's what he was thinking. But I'm just thinking like on the general level of like people that we know, I was like, I don't see where they're bad in any way or selfish or greedy. And that brings me then to another topic that I want to talk about today, which would be about Elon Musk. He just became the world's first trillionaire. So I wanted to have a discussion about Elon Musk and about water. But before we get into them, we do have to do our card pulls. I'm using the card deck Soul Helper Oracle by Christine Ariana Fader. And I got card number 24, which is the Tree of Wishes is calling your name. An almost forgotten wish will now come true. Kind of makes you wonder too. You're like, what have I wished for before but have forgotten about? I know. Okay. The Tree of Wishes is calling your name. An almost forgotten wish will now come true. You once made a wish in the divine realms of fulfillment. Your ancestors have been keeping this wish safe since that day, as you were not ready for it to come true. You expressed a deep longing in this wish, and now the time has come. It will be touched by the divine source and will enter the realm of the possible. Although you have forgotten it in the intervening years, you now have the momentum and opportunity to achieve your desire. Your path has led you to a point where miracles can happen because you now believe in them. Miracles can only occur if you believe they are possible or truly want them to happen, free from fear and with an open heart. Miracles take place daily throughout the world. You lost sight of all these wonders for a time and deep down failed to believe that you are a creative being. However, you are the one who shapes your world and destiny in creating a path of growth for you. You have forgotten that you can trust your path, but you are now ready to follow the path of your soul and insight in complete trust. This is why you have drawn this card. It is now time to signal that you are ready to receive a miracle as your free will is respected in the spirit world. You have forgotten your wish and you didn't nurture it with significant positive emotions. It is therefore now important to say a prayer expressing that you believe in miracles and are ready to receive one. It would be a shame to miss out on this opportunity, so do not delay. The helpers for the next 21 days, the power animal is the crane, the herb is sage, the healing crystal is Hemonite, and the number is 6. I love that one so much. And the card, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's this big, massive tree trunk, and it's got in it a wooden door and this rickety, flat rock, twisted pathway up to it. And then you just see like the roots of the tree around it and green bushes behind it. And there's moss on the tree. It's just so beautiful. If I remember, I will post it on Instagram, but I am so bad at remembering to do that. I should start making that something that I do for sure, because they are so beautiful. I love that card deck. I just do. I say it every week. I love it. It's my favorite. And until I'm called to use a different one, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep using it. And with all card pulls, do remember that it doesn't matter when you're listening to this podcast. Like if you're listening to it on the day that it's released, if you're listening to it 6 months from then, 6 years from then, that card is pulled for you for the time frame that you are listening to it. So it doesn't matter when you're listening. And again, take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't resonate. As I said in the beginning, I am pre-recording some podcasts simply because I have a couple of busy weeks. Starting, my nephews are coming down, so that's going to be great. And I'm excited to see my nephews. It's been since November since I've seen them, so I get to spend some time with them. My son is super excited. He's so funny because he's been talking about my nephews coming down. And he goes, yeah, when they're down, I want to go water sliding. And my husband and I are like, A, you've never been down a water slide. Do you even know what a water slide is? And B, you don't like water in your face. So now you're going to go down a slide, which is going to spray water up in your face. And then you're going to hit the pool really fast and get water everywhere. This morning, I was like telling my son that we got confirmation that my nephews are coming down. And he was talking about the water slide and these balloons. And I was like, you mean the slip and slide that we have? So I bought this set last year where it's a slip and slide, and then at the bottom there's like water balloons. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm like, that's totally different than water slides. I got like another little play water mat that they can have, which is the game of Operation. So then you got to pick out the pieces and maybe get sprayed in the face or something like that. I don't know. Might be good. And then we have his pool. So it's like we could have the kids out one day and just like have a little pool party because it's probably still supposed to be hot at that time frame too. So that'll be nice. And then the next day, so my nephews are coming and they're staying for just over a week and a half. And then the next day after my nephews come, my sister-in-law is coming. So we have to go and see her. And then a day before my nephews leave, her husband is coming down and he wants to see us and hang out with us. And I was like, oh my goodness. And he's only here for the weekend and then they're going back home. And I was just like, this is crazy. So we have about a week and a half where we're going to be super busy. We're going to be visiting family, which is great. But I was like, it seems like every time they both seem to plan their trips at the same time. And it's like for a week, my husband and I are kind of being pulled in every direction. And it'll be good. Like I'm excited to see my nephews. They're 9 and 10. And then my son is 4. So it'll be good. We don't have naps this year. Like last year we had to work around my son's naps. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good. I don't know what to do. I'm always like, what should we do with the boys? I don't want to spend a ton of money. I don't always like taking them to the jump parks and things like that because of the germs. Not so much for the older boys, but for my son. Sometimes I'm like, but he's experienced a lot with play school. So maybe we'll be better this year. We'll see. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll figure something out. So that's why I'm pre-recording my podcast, just because I have a couple of busy weeks coming up. It'll be good. It'll be fun. And then somewhere in there, my bonus son, it's his birthday. So we got to meet up with him and celebrate his birthday. What I want to get into with today's topic is last week we just did kind of like a fun podcast where I just gave you my thoughts on different random things that are happening. And I want to do that again. So I did that the last 2 weeks, actually. So this is the third week. And this week, I want to talk about Elon Musk. My husband likes to send me TikToks. He scrolls, I think, all day long. Anyways, he sends me this TikTok, and I know who Elon Musk is, but I don't fully follow him. I'm not, a big Elon Musk fan. I have nothing really bad or good to say about Elon Musk. I don't know enough about him. I'm watching this TikTok, and in it, he was talking about AI. And he was talking about if AI is to take over like people are predicting that it's going to take over in such a quick and fast time frame, what is that going to do to the population? And I really like this because it is kind of what I've always been thinking too. If you look at it and you think, okay, AI, if we start taking jobs away from people, what are those people going to do? We will not have enough jobs in the world for these people that AI is taking over. How are these people then being financially supported? Secondly, if we keep up with AI at the rapid rate that people are saying that we're going to be having it come out at, what is that going to do to humanity? How are they going to handle not having a purpose anymore? So AI comes in, takes over jobs. So now A, financially, you're having a hard time, and B, you don't have something for a purpose, because a lot of people put their life purpose is based on what they're doing for a living, like what they get up and go to do for work. And not only that, even if you don't do that and you have like a different life purpose, but you're still working, you still need something to do in the day. You still need that ability to feel like you have accomplished something. And my husband and I have talked about this a lot, where we feel like a lot of people, when they retire, they lose that sort of sense of identity, if you will, because they don't have something to accomplish every day. For instance, his father, when he went to retire, it took a very long time for him to want to retire. And he worked part-time for quite a few years because he needed that purpose every day. He needed a reason to get up. Now, he didn't want to start work at 7 and work until 4. That wasn't what he wanted anymore. He wanted the sort of slower start to the day, but he still wanted to be able to go and do, say, one job that day. Not a big job, but a little job. Like he went out and changed some guy's lights or helped a little old lady with something that needed to be done around her house, like a couple of plugs or something like that, where he felt that he had a purpose still. And I understand that, because even being a stay-at-home mom, I still need a purpose every day. Like I don't wake up and say, okay, today we're just going to go with the flow and see what happens. It's like, okay, today is Monday. I'm going to do laundry. I'm going to vacuum. I'm going to mop. I'm going to make this for supper. We got to go get groceries. I have tasks that I am doing all day, as well as taking care of a child as I'm doing it. I see the need for the purpose. Now, if you're used to going to a workplace every single day and that is your purpose, and all of a sudden that's pulled away because AI has taken over and there's not enough jobs for you to go and get another job somewhere, and you no longer have purpose, what is that going to mentally do to you? Or in general, the collective? And again, financially, what is that mentally going to do to the collective? And that's what Elon Musk was saying in this TikTok, where he was saying that if AI is to advance as it is predicted to, we are going to have universal income, because people will be losing their jobs and there just won't be jobs for us to go to. We are going to need somehow to financially be able to afford living, because unfortunately on Earth, and this is the only realm, so you can go to other spiritual realms, you can go to other starseed planets, they do not work on a money system. Earth is the only place that does. So we are going to need to have universal income for everybody, because there are just not enough jobs then, because AI took over. He also said, what would our mental health look like? Will we see more mental health issues? That's a really good question. If people don't have purpose and they're not going to work anymore, are we going to see a lot more mental health issues because people don't know what they're supposed to do? Now they instantly feel lost. Think about it. Have you ever lost a job? Have you ever been fired from a job, let go of a job due to downsizing or whatever it might be? How did you feel? You get up Monday morning and all of a sudden you don't have that place to go to. Maybe you didn't like going to that place. Maybe you didn't like your job, but once it's pulled from you, and it wasn't your decision to pull it, it really makes you sit back and wonder. And you're like, what am I supposed to do now? How am I supposed to function? How do I feel my day? What do I do? And maybe the first little bit you're depressed and you just scroll or something, but eventually, you're going to need to do something, and you know that. And eventually you're gonna be like, this isn't working for me anymore. What can I do? And I think that's what Elon Musk is trying to get at, is how is it going to affect people mentally? Will we see more mental health issues because of this? Will people then maybe find interest in other things? Maybe homesteading, maybe gardening, maybe going to the lake and relaxing, maybe finding a job that they truly love that is more in a trade sort of position where AI can't take over it. Maybe being creative, like maybe you're going to see more artists or more musicians or healers, maybe things like that. Like, will we see more of that? Because we do need purpose. As human beings, it doesn't matter. We need purpose. Every human on this planet probably once in their lifetime, if not multiple times in their lifetime, asks, what is my purpose? And when they don't feel like they have a purpose, take a real look at them. How does their soul react? They're sad. They're depressed. They have a hard time. Is that why we see a lot more maybe drug use? Because these people don't feel like they have a purpose anymore. They don't feel like they're worthy. They don't feel like they're good enough. And the drug use is used because they don't know how to mentally deal with what's going on in their heads. I don't know. I'm just saying, this is just kind of what's coming up as I'm talking about this. But I do see where Elon Musk is coming from. Do I think AI is bad? Do I think that we should advance it the way that we do? Now, I'm a starseed from Meldeck. If you know anything, I think I've talked about this before. We blew up our planet due to technology. So I'm not afraid of a computer. I'll use a computer. I'm not afraid of a smartphone. I mean, I am the one that got my husband into a smartphone. Now, I'm not sure why I did that. I should have left him with a flip phone. But honestly, I'm not afraid of technology, but I don't know if we need to have the technology of AI and robots the way that people are saying. Is it a nice fantasy? Yeah, I think it's a great fantasy. Do we need it? Would I like a robot to clean my house? I don't think I would. To be honest, I don't think I would. Don't get me wrong. I do have the robot that vacuums my house 4 times a week. I love it, but you know what the problem is? It doesn't do exactly a great enough job like I would do. But now I think it's good enough, so I'm actually not vacuuming my house as much as I used to vacuum my house, in the sense of keeping it cleaner. I think we would become lazier if we had a robot cleaning our house. You think that you would do more, but are we just pretending that we're doing more? Are we doing anything that's really productive? And it doesn't have to mean like productive as in like you're finishing a task, but something like your soul wants to do. I don't know. I see where Elon Musk is coming from this, and he asked great questions. As I was watching his videos, again, I don't follow Elon Musk. I don't really watch anything that he puts out there. And it was probably one of the first videos that I've ever watched where Elon was talking, and I'm like, he is so brilliantly smart. Like, there is no way that you can't say that he is brilliantly smart. Like, he is very smart. And I said he's very socially awkward, it seems like, as well. But I was like, his brain is working so fast that he's trying to answer a question, but then he's asking another question and trying to answer. His brain just works at such a different level than most people. And I was like, it almost makes him sound uneducated in a way, but he is so brilliantly smart when you stop and you look at it and you really pay attention. And I was like, he's got it. He hit the nail on the head 100% when he said, what are people going to do about their purpose? Are we going to have more mental health? And what about universal income? Like, we're going to need universal income, because how do you have that many people without jobs? Like, the planet and the world just wouldn't happen. Like, it wouldn't function. If we are living in a realm where money is essentially what we need to survive in order to do anything. I mean, you need money to go buy food right now, unless you can homestead yourself. But even then, you still need money. It's not like back in the caveman days when we didn't have money and we were trading and making things, but it was still sort of a form of money. When you're trading, you had to have something to trade for. It's still an energetic exchange, which is exactly what money is. It's an energetic exchange. It's just we're now using plastic or paper bills. In Canada, they are plastic, to do that energetic exchange, whereas before you had a tangible physical item that you were doing that energetic exchange for, or your time, right? So I don't know. I agree with him. I see where he's coming from. And those are the same questions that I have. And I think about it all the time. Like I said, people retiring. A lot of times you will see people staying in the workforce a lot longer because they don't know what to do with their time. There was a lady that I worked with. She stayed within our company for quite some time. We've all said that she probably should have retired years before she did. I think she didn't, mostly because she didn't know what to do with her time, did not know what to do with her time if she was not getting up every day and coming to work. Now, was her work productivity high quality and high output? No, but it gave her purpose. It gave her a reason to get up in the morning. How many people do you hear that they retired and within a year they have passed away? Is it because they don't have a purpose anymore? They don't know what their purpose is? They maybe weren't ready to retire, but they were almost forced to retire. Again, it's a mental thing. Retirement isn't just like, oh yeah, I'm 67 because I live in Canada and I should retire. It's mental. It's also financial too, but it's mental. Do you have the ability to feel like you have purpose when you retire? Because without purpose, do you feel like you're contributing to anything in the world? And are you happy then, or are you becoming depressed? Just something to think about. Okay, the second one, as I said earlier, when we were out at the lake and the water was living and my son was playing in it and it's living water and how healing that could be. There is something that I've come across called structured water or structuring water. And this is very interesting. So I had heard before that if you have water sitting for a long period of time, it is dead water. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit of what I know about water. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a normal person. Okay. So bear with me. This is what I know. And this is my perception, and this is what I think to be true. I do believe that water moving is living water. It's that simple. It is living water. I do believe water that is sitting would be classified as dead water. Now, reverse osmosis is dead water. So the people that only drink reverse osmosis that is not remineralized, you are not doing anything for your body. Nothing. I'm sorry to say, it is dead water. You need to have the minerals in there. When my brother was diagnosed with cancer and he finished his chemo treatment, a lady reached out to me and she was selling the Enagic water systems. I bought one. Well, I found a used one. Actually, I found a couple of used ones, bought them that way, but then I did buy one for my husband's family. I believe so strongly in alkaline water. I believe in alkaline water because of our pH system in our bodies. Cancer thrives in a low pH balanced system. So if you have low pH, it's more acidic, and it's going to thrive in that. If you have a higher pH and you're more alkaline, cancer cannot thrive in that system. Okay. This is what I have been learning. I've done a lot of work with virology. I've done a lot of work with live blood. This is what I'm learning about acidic and alkaline bodies. Now, with the Enagic system, what it is it's plates that rub together, and it essentially makes your water alkaline. And you can actually take the water. This is so cool. You can pick the pH level. So I always pick a 9.5. And you can literally take a tea bag and put it in that 9.5. And the water molecules are small enough that it will actually penetrate. This is with cold water. It will actually penetrate into that tea bag and it'll make you a cold tea. Now, most teas, you heat up the water because you need the molecules of the water small enough to be able to penetrate the tea. If you were to take normal cold tap water, the water will not penetrate the tea bag. It will not make tea. You need a smaller water molecule in order to do that. That is what the Enagic system does, is it makes the water at a higher pH level. The water molecule is smaller and your body can absorb it. We filter our water through our Enagic system and we put it into another filtering system. This filtering system gets rid of chlorine because our water is heavily chlorinated. I hate that, but it is. And it also has remineralization rocks as well. So it's remineralizing our water. So we're absorbing healthy minerals into our system. So I'm getting pH water and I'm getting healthy minerals into my body. Now, there is something that is called structuring of water. And Slim Sterling and Gerald Pollock are the two guys that have been talking about this for quite some time. And they believed that structured water is more easily to absorb on a cellular level. It'll stay in the body longer instead of being urinated out as quickly, which I will tell you 100% when I drink my water from my magic water system and from my other system, I do not urinate often. I drink minimum 2 liters of water a day. If I have a bottle of water from Dasani or something like that, I'm peeing that out right away. Like, it does not stay in my system. This stays in my system. It also helps electrical conductivity, which then is helping your nervous system and your muscles. So the more electrical conductivity that you have in the water, the more your nervous system and your muscles are benefiting from that. It helps to support your mitochondrial function, which is your energy production as well. And it improves your detox and your nutrient delivery. So it helps you to detox properly and it helps you to absorb your nutrients. This is huge to structure your water. There have been people that have got certain water structural funnels where you put the water in and it vortexes the water through this funnel, which then helps the water to become structured. There is a lady and she's on Etsy and she's just doing this for fun. It's like her creative product. And she is taking copper. She's smashing the copper. She's adding in some gems on it, making these beautiful, beautiful wands. And you take that wand and you basically stir your water and it's structuring your water as well so that you can absorb the water better. I am a firm believer, and this is just me, that if you are getting water from a 5-gallon jug, one of the blue jugs, it's not hydrating you like structured water would. It's not being absorbed properly in your system like structured water. You're probably urinating most of it out versus you actually absorbing a lot of it. I found a difference, and I can state this because I've done live blood. I've seen how hydrated my cells have been. I've seen how dehydrated my cells have been. I believe that the system that I have going works very well for myself. It does. I also will find anytime I'm in a mountain, a natural spring, and I will get water from it. Now I know people are like, oh my goodness, that's horrible. What if there's bugs in there? What if there's worms in there? What if there's bacteria in there? You're right. There could be, although this is extremely glacier cold water, I just don't know if there is. And I mean, where I go, it's physically piped. It's not like I'm just walking to some random waterfall. I'm like, I'm just going to put my cup here and get some water. Like, that does bug me because I'm like, I don't know what it's going through. Maybe there is something in it. But where we go when we get our water, it's literally piped. So people, which I'm sure it's the town area, because this is always close to a town, have actually tested this water, made sure it was safe, and they've piped it so that you can get water. There is one place, and I don't want to give it up. But if you are in the Canmore area, Canmore has a place. So Canmore, Alberta, and it is, my goodness, the most amazing water. A friend of ours, like we call her Auntie for my son, she was going to Canmore and I was like, oh my gosh, if you're going, can you get me some water? And so she ended up going and she texted me. She's like, hey, I'm here. And she brought back water, but she said that she had some of that water. She goes, that is the best water I've ever had in my entire life. I'm like, I know. You see why I'm obsessed with it? Like, obsessed to the point when we are going to Revelstoke. I'm like, hey, Tim, can you bring some jugs? And we will get about 4 5-gallon jugs full of water so that I have it. Like, I'm obsessed with this water. It is so good. I've never had water in my system that has been that amazing. And it's live water. It's literally flowing, I'm sure, from a glacier somewhere. And it's flowing down. It's going through the rocks. It's moving constantly. It's never stagnant. It's never stale. Like, it's always moving. That is the best living water you can possibly have. I love it. The only thing I wish with my water system right now is that I had, and I even said this to my husband, I was like, I wonder if we should get like a fish bubbler in our water that just bubbles the water so that it's always moving, so that it's not actually like stagnant. Because when I start putting water into our big container, probably holds 9 liters of water, and I'll make all 9 liters at one time. So maybe we should have it so it's actually moving the water around, so it's actually living water. But for structured water, look into it. It's amazing what it's actually going to do for your body for detoxing. It's something I'm starting to learn a little bit about. So I don't know a lot about it, but I just love water. I'm obsessed with water. In the last 8 years, for sure. When I learned about Enagic, when I learned about what it does, how you have pH level water, and you could have acidic water or alkaline water? I went with alkaline water. I just had to. It was just something where I knew my system needed it. A lot of times you'll hear blue-eyed people are very acidic, brown-eyed people aren't, but I was acidic and I knew that. I had a lot of gut issues, a lot of eczema, a lot of just health issues. That's an acidic body. And so I really worked at changing my pH level in my body. One of the easiest ways of doing that is getting alkaline water. Yes, eating alkaline foods, that's great. You want alkaline foods 100%. If you know your blood type, you can eat for your blood type and you can find out foods that are beneficial for you. Are they acidic for you? Are they beneficial? Are they alkaline beneficial? Are they beneficial acidic? And to be honest, you don't want to be too alkaline and you don't want to be too acidic. You want to be balanced, nicely balanced, right? So when I found out about alkaline water, I was like, yes, please, this is what I want. And I found that when I drank my water, I wasn't thirsty after. I can chug and drink a Dasani bottle of water and not feel like I had any water whatsoever. Nothing. I'm very particular when we go on trips and I need bottles of water. I really do try to get the natural spring water. And I know people are like, it's just from a tap. Maybe it is, but it does actually satisfy my thirst. So that's something better than the Dasani bottle. I'm sorry, I'm just throwing Dasani under the bus, but it's true. Basically, if it's made by Coke or Pepsi, I'm not drinking it because it's not hydrating me the way that I need it to hydrate me. Life water is good. It's harder to find sometimes. Smart water will not do. Nope. I love Evian. I love the Evian water. I believe that's what it's called. I'm just trying to go off the top of my head. Love that one. That is one that I will buy all the time through and through. Yes, am I paying an arm and a leg for it? Yes, I am. But I'm obsessed with the quality of water. I'm obsessed with knowing that my cells are getting hydrated when I'm drinking the water. Very particular in that way. So I do pay attention when I have bottled water from anywhere. I'm like, did that hydrate me? Did that not hydrate me? Is it worth it? Was it not worth it? Very particular on that one. But yeah, structured water, try that. And really, maybe you could go and buy that rod from that lady. I'll try and find her Etsy page and link it at the bottom for you. I'm not sponsored by any means. She just came across my TikTok and they're so beautiful. I got some money from some people for my birthday and I put it aside. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. This is like special money. It's not to be blown on like, everyday stuff or for my son. Like this is my money. So maybe I'll get myself a little structuring wand and do that, treat myself to that. And then when I do, I'll let you know. But yeah, just a couple of things. Look into structured water. Really think about what Elon Musk said. I like what he said. I think I listened to that 3 weeks ago and it's still playing in my mind. It's like, what will the world look like if we advanced AI at the rate that people are predicting that we're going to? What would it look like? How would we live? Like, what would our purpose be? Even if we don't advance at that rapid speed, I mean, we got to be careful with it. Again, do I like AI? Do I not like AI? I think at some point AI is good, but I think we have to be careful with AI. To make a movie, yeah, it looks better. Not gonna lie. I mean, isn't that kind of what Pixar was doing way back when? Love the movie Cars. I love it. So I don't know. You guys, be interesting. See how it goes. And then, yeah, the Barlow's basket with the 4 planets. We'll see what that brings up next 4 years. We'll see. I'm just so new into astrology. I don't know a whole lot, so I don't want to talk on it, but quite interesting anyways. That's all I have today. If you're interested in any of my services, you can go to my website at elevatedsoulhealing.com. I have Reiki there. I do adult Reiki, kid Reiki, animal Reiki. I do access bars, I do emotion code, body code, heart walk. Then I also do Akashic Records reads as well. So those are all on my website. If you want to know what your soul gift is, if you want to know what your star seed is, so you can be like, I'm a Maldek too, and we blew up the planet, and that's why I can't make a decision, that I can help you out with. We can find out what your star seed is. So that's all at my website at elevatedsoulhealing.com. You can find me on Facebook at Elevated Soul Healing, Instagram at Elevated Soul Healing, and my podcast is Elevated on Facebook and Elevated Pod on Instagram. Dawn Elevated Soul Healing on TikTok as well. So you can go there. I'm pretty much everywhere. Follow my podcast, like my podcast. I put podcasts out every Wednesday. It is very rare that I miss a Wednesday. Follow, like, subscribe. That way, when I do post them, they're automatically put in for you. You don't have to try and go find it. They're just there. And then you can just hit listen. I appreciate you for listening. I really, truly do appreciate you listening. If you could rate my podcast, that would be great. By rating my podcast, it pushes my podcast out to more listeners. And I'm really trying to grow this podcast. So whatever platform you're on, if you could please just rate it, I would truly appreciate that. I want to say hi to my new listeners. I have a lot of new listeners in France right now, which is exciting, super exciting. So thank you very much for listening and follow me. Go to my website, check it out, elevatedsoulhealing.com. Okay. Last note before we go, my heart code, you guys. I'm cleared. I got my heart code cleared. I'm fully cleared. And now we're working on my inner child heart code. Yeah. So that would be 0 to 12 is what we're working on. So I have about 2 more sessions for my inner child one, and then we are done and my heart code will be done. So I'm excited. Do I notice a difference? Yeah. I cry a little bit more. I feel a little bit more. I will say that, but I'm nicer. I'm kinder. I'm happier. I'm more in the moment, I'm finding. I'm enjoying life a lot more. There's a smile on my face a lot more. I'm not getting so uptight about things as well. So that is wonderful. So if you want to do your heart code, I do have podcasts on the heart code and emotion codes. Podcast number 43, which is energy healing, Reiki, Akashic records, and body code, healing yourself and your pets and your soul. The anger wasn't mine, which is podcast number 41. And then there is podcast number 40, which is the heart wall healing, body code, emotion code, and releasing trapped emotions. And then episode number 39, which is body code explained, emotion code, belief code, heart code, and psyche as well. So those are the podcasts. If you want to listen to those regarding trapped emotions, heart walls, you can go to my website at elevatedsoulhealing.com for any services that you may be interested in, as well as if you want, my podcasts are also on my website. So thank you so very much for being here. I appreciate it. Please rate and subscribe. I would truly, truly appreciate that. Thank you. And I will be back next Wednesday.